चलिए शुरू करते हैं। दोस्तों, आज का टॉपिक है, जैसे कि आप बोर्ड पे देख पा रहे हैं, डिड मार्क्स फेल। काफी गहरा टॉपिक है। आंसर सबके सब्जेक्टिव हो सकते हैं, बट एक कॉमन ग्राउंड पर पहुंचना बहुत जरूरी है, सो दैट हम एक बैलेंस आंसर अटेम्प्ट कर सके। अगर मार्क्स फेल हुए तो हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल बिहाइंड दैट। आज के लेक्चर स्टार्ट करने से पहले दुष्यंत कुमार जी की एक बहुत खूबसूरत कविता है, बहुत क्रांतिकारी है। उसका शीर्षक मुझे याद आ रहा है, मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने में सही। मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने में सही, हो कहीं भी आग लेकिन आग जलनी चाहिए। मेरे सीने में नहीं तो तेरे सीने में सही, हो कहीं भी आग लेकिन आग जलनी चाहिए। इससे खूबसूरत टाइटल किसी कविता का मुझे नहीं लगता आज के लेक्चर को जस्टिफाई कर पाएगा। वो आग अगर वो मार्क्स की कंट्री जर्मनी में नहीं जला तो वो लेनिन के दिल पे जला और वो रसिया में एक क्रांतिकारी लेके आया। वो आग जो मार्क्स के दिल में नहीं जला वो कहीं ना कहीं माओ जेडोंग के दिल में जला और चाइना में कम्युनिस्ट रिवॉल्यूशन लेके आया। और हम देखेंगे, डिस्पाइट many successful revolution, why we consider Marx as a god who has failed, right? So, hello friends, this is your host Navan Raj Gupta, and I humbly welcome you all to our lecture number 45 of PSIR lecture series. So without any further ado, let's get started. But I would request you all to stick till the very end, because at the end we are going to discuss this very important question that was asked in the year 2017. The question was differentiate between freedom and liberty, discuss Marx notion of freedom, जो कि काफी हद तक इस लेक्चर के दौरान आपको पता चल जाएगा। All right, so let's get started with today's lecture. Did Marx fail? आपको क्या लगता है दोस्तों, डिड मार्क्स एक्चुअली फेल? लेट्स सी। अगर मैक्सिमम पॉलिटिकल थिंकर्स का मानना है कि यस मार्क्स फेल, देन हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल? अगर चलिए हम मान लेते हैं मार्क्स फेल है, तो हु इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल? हमें उसे उसके डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स को देखना पड़ेगा, राइट? व्हाट इज द डिफरेंट कॉजेज ऑफ फेलियर ऑफ मार्क्स? हमें डिफरेंट स्टडीज करनी पड़ेगी। अगर कम्युनिस्ट रिवॉल्यूशन लेट्स से रसिया में आया, चाइना में आया, वियतनाम में आया, नॉर्थ कोरिया में आया, क्यूबा में आया, देन व्हाई डू वी कंसिडर मार्क्स एज अ फेलियर, राइट? सो फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबल मैन बिहाइंड the notion that Marx is a god who has failed is none other than Lenin, Vladimir Lenin, right? Lenin is responsible for failure of Marx. Why? Because Lenin is also a Peter, right? A very famous Peter who has denied his master. How he has denied his master? Because it is said that biggest harm to Marx was caused not by his opponents, right? Who were the opponents? Basically the capitalist liberal worlds, right? Capitalist liberal worlds. So here it is being said that the biggest harm to the Marx was not caused by his opponents, rather than his supporters, right? His supporters who were the flag bearer, who were the front runner of revolution or Marxist revolutions in their respective countries, right? Like Lenin, like Mao Zedong, and etc., right? If today Marx is considered as enemy of open society, right? Karl Popper, you guys might have guessed it. Karl Popper, he have considered Plato, Marx, and etc. as the enemy of open society, advocate of totalitarianism. It is because of Lenin. The credit goes to Lenin because he is the first person to interpret Marxism and make it in the form of praxis, right? Make the Marxist theory applicable in his country of Russia, right? The most famous revolution, that is Russian Revolution of 1917. Do you guys remember it, right? Russian Revolution of 1917. The major brainchild behind Russian Revolution of 1970 is none other than the Marxist or Marxism, taken forward by Lenin, right? The Vladimir Lenin. This is the basic idea that we all might be knowing. More than Marx followers, Marx opponents understood the message of Marx, right? Why do we say that the Marx opponent understood the message of Marx? Is that Marx always expounded the idea Marx always expounded the idea that the revolution must take place. The revolution must take place in a countries which are already capitalistically advanced, right? Capitalistically advanced country. And which was the country most suitable for a communist revolution? It was none other than UK. It was none other than United Kingdom, right? But how Marx opponent understood and made the provisions or made certain amendments? UK understood the Marxist idea that they can exploit workers only to the certain extent and not beyond that. Why? Because if the exploitation or the level of exploitation will increase, the workers class, they will get the consciousness, right? The class in itself will become what? The class for itself, right? That we have seen in his theory of class and class struggle, right? When the working class will get consciousness, when the level of exploitation will increase to its extreme level, right? Then the class in itself will become class for itself, and then they will hold up arms अगेंस्ट दी एक्सप्लॉयटेटिव दैट इज कैपिटलिस्ट क्लास। अगर मैं आपको इंडिया कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बताऊं तो क्या हुआ? द वेरी बेस्ट एग्जांपल्स आर ब्रिटिशर्स देमसेल्फ। व्हेन दे इनिशियली केम टू आवर कंट्री, they were basically engaged more in menial trade and commerce, right? People were still in this stage of class in itself, right? They used to consider Britishers as a mere businessmen, mere merchants, right? They used to engage only in trade and commerce. They used to buy goods from our country and they used to export it to UK. This is how the Indians used to think of them. But gradually what happened? Gradually in mid of 20th century, around 90, 40s, what happened? The class in itself, they converted into class for itself. They became class for itself. Why? Because they understood the exploitative nature of Britishers, right? Then the individuals like Gandhiji and etc., they launched the Quit India movement, right? They launched Quit India movement. Karo ya maro, karo या मरो, यू डोंट हैव एनी अदर ऑप्शन। आप अभी भी मर रहे हैं, यू हैव ओनली वन चांस, दैट इज यू डू एंड टेक अ चांस टू हैव अ बेटर लाइफ, राइट? दिस वाज द मेन एजेंडा ऑफ क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट, राइट? सो व्हेन द exploited class, that were Indians, realized their real objective material conditions, when the exploitative nature of Britishers reached to its extreme, right? That is what Marx said. The communist revolution will only take place in the countries where the capitalism in its most advanced stage, capitalism in its most advanced stage, right? That is what the Marx opponents, they understood this idea of Marx, that yes, hey Marx, you got a point there. We can exploit for our personal motive, our personal profit, our personal greed, but only till the certain point, right? And if we exceed that point, the workers will revolt against us, right? That is what happened. And understanding this notion of Marxism, the Britishers, the Western countries, they have brought an amendment, right? Amendment of what? Amendment of welfareism. Amendment of what? Welfareism or welfaric state, right? Where the interest of the workers will also be safeguarded through their what? Magna Cartas, right? This is the idea of how the opponents of Marx understood the message of Marx well or more effectively than the supporters of Marx like Lenin and etc., right? So what was Lenin's problem, right? What was Lenin's problem? Why do we consider Lenin approach as a doom, right? Why do we consider Lenin approach as a doom? अगर लेनिन का प्रॉब्लम क्या था? अगर लेनिन ने अच्छे से मार्क्सिज्म पढ़ा तो था, उसने कम्युनिस्ट मैनिफेस्टो बहुत अच्छे से तो पढ़ लिया, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम कहां हुआ जिसके कारण से हम समझते हैं कि लेनिन रिवॉल्यूशन वाज अ फेलियर, राइट? लेनिन कंसिडर्ड मार्क्स एज अ गॉड, right? Lenin considered Marx as a god. That is why we quote a very, very famous quote that Marx is a god. Marx is a god who has failed, right? Marx is a god who has failed. And who is the individual responsible to label Marx as a god? He is none other than the Lenin. He believed that Marx's ideas are bound to emerge. He got so immersed in the idea of Marxism that he tried understanding, and he made the conclusion that Marx, or the theory of Marx, or the Marxist revolution is bound to happen in Russia, right? However, during the time of Lenin, there were no signs that history will move as per suggested by Marx, right? Why here is the big question. Why in Russia the history out not to move according to Marx, right? Or how Marx has suggested in his magnum opus, right? The nature of capitalism had changed throughout the world, right? Not only in Russia but throughout the world, the nature of capitalism had changed. Here we are talking around where we are talking around the late 19th century, right? 1890s to 1920s, right? 1917 is a period when Russian revolution took place, right? So during that time the nature of capitalism what was changed. How it changed? Rather than capitalism being a country intensive, what do I mean when I say capitalism being country intensive? The exploitation in a single country like UK, Britain, etc., right? They were the center of IR, right? That is where the major workers were exploited before the mid 19th century. But during the late 19th century, what happened? The nature of capitalism changed. How it changed? The capitalism or exploitation of capitalism, they got shifted to major colonies of the world, right? We know the exploration of the Western countries, right? Exploration, they started exploring their various colonies and tried exploiting their resource for that country. That was the major raison d'etre, major motive, major vision of imperialism, right? The location of exploitation shifted from Western world to the colonies like India, China, Africa, and etc., right? What happened then? When the focus of exploitation shifted from the Western countries to the colonies, the Britishers, let's say for example, they started having good trade in the colonies, and they started sending the money back, right? When they started sending the money back, the conditions of workers relatively improved in the Western countries, right? They used to get fair wages as compared to colonies, right? Here the Western countries, the capitalists, they basically started exploiting the coloners, like basically the colonies or the workers in colonies, right? The best example that we can think of is the indigo planters in our country. Indigo planters, how they were exploited, right? High amount of taxes revenue that was collected from them, and they used to send back to the Britain, right? So when money was flooded in Britain, they started giving better wages to the workers, and the conditions of workers or the standard of living of workers were improved little bit, right? That is why the revolution did not take place, right? So this was one of the major problem. During the time of Lenin, the nature of capitalism which was envisioned by Marx got changed completely, which Lenin did not take into consideration, right? So capitalists could profitably invest the wealth in colonies. They have expropriated huge returns. That is drain of wealth theory that we all know, right? The drain of wealth theory. Hence they could afford to give higher wages, as well as state could provide social security, that is improved the situation of poor, right? By engaging in the concept of drain of wealth, by extracting huge amount of revenue in the form of taxes from the colonies, sending it back to their own countries like Britain and etc. The conditions of workers in those respective countries got little bit better, right? Revolution happened when exploitation becomes extreme. This is what Marx said, right? When exploitation will become extreme, the class in itself will become class for itself, right? And this is where the sense of ignition for revolution will take shape within them, right? But this does not happen. This did not take place in the Western countries. However, in Western countries, scenario changed. Why scenario changed? Because change in the nature of capitalism, that is the economic structure, which was the basic structure according to Marx, right? And just think how beautifully they have understood the Marxist notion, right? अगर आप याद करें मार्क्स की theory of base and superstructure, what did Marx say? Marx say that whatever superstructure like political system, religion, institutions, education, family, media, and etc. These all are the superstructure. They are basically based on the basic structure, that is the economic structure, right? So what did the Western countries they did? What did the capitalist country they did? Despite of changing the entire superstructure, that is despite of focusing on superstructure, they have just amended the basic structure. They have just made it little bit more better, the basic structure, that is the economic system. Despite exploiting the workers to their extreme conditions, they have started promoting the welfaric idea, right? That is from where the notion of welfarism, the notion of neoliberalism taken into shape, right? Taken into consideration in the Western countries. Lenin was man of action. He was determined to implement communist idea at any cost. He wanted to throw the Tsarist regime, right? The Tsarist regime. If you remember, the Russia was a semi-feudal. Russia was a semi-feudal state where it was partly ruled by the Tsarist regime, and economic was basically the feudal in nature, right? That is why we regard Russia as a semi-feudal state. But if we talk about China, China was completely feudal economy. India was also a kind of feudal economy where the zamindars and etc. they used to hold a huge amount of land, and peasants they used to work under them. The similar situation was also prevailing in China, but in Russia it was a semi-feudal economy, right? Hence, he brought some modification to Marxism. He has expressed this idea in his book, that is what is to be done, right? After reading Marxist theory, after reading Das Kapital, after reading the Communist Manifesto, basically he got the idea, right? He related to the Marxism, the theory of Marx, and he written down his own book, his own work, that is known as What is to be Done by Vladimir Lenin, right? Here he have proposed a list of method how the communist revolution can be brought in Russia, right? So why did Lenin doomed, right? Till now he understood the Marxist concept. When, right, he read Marxist work, great, I understood the concept. Yes, I understood these are the problems that I have to solve, right? So he has also proposed how we can do that in his book, that is What is to be Done. He have convincingly formulated an idea how he can achieve his aim of bringing communist revolution. But why did Lenin doomed, right? Lenin doomed just because of the three changes that he made in the idea of Marx, right? Just because of the three changes that Lenin brought in the idea of Marx, because of which the entire idea of communist revolution was failed. And rather than communist revolution, we can call his revolution a Russian revolution of 1917 as Leninism. Leninism, right? As Leninism. Why we cannot consider this as a communist revolution or Lal Salam? Why we cannot call it as a communist revolution? Because he has changed three very fundamental, very basic element of Marxist theory, right? जो मार्क्सिस्ट थ्योरी की सबसे थ्री फंडामेंटल एलिमेंट्स थे दोस्तों, लेनिन ने उसको ही चेंज कर दिया। हम देखेंगे वो तीन फंडामेंटल चेंजेस क्या थे जो मार्क्स के ओरिजिनल थ्योरी से कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट करते हैं, राइट? दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव टू keep this very important thing in our mind, that we cannot consider the Russian Revolution of 1917 as a communist revolution, rather than it was a Leninism. It was a Lenin's own version of revolution, right? And what are the three changes that Lenin made? First, communist revolution in feudal country, right? The basic idea, right? Now again, what did Marx say? If you remember it well, Marx basically envisioned communist revolution in the capitalist economy, right? In the capitalist economy, and not only capitalist economy, friends. You have to again take this into very serious note, that he propounded the idea that revolution will take place in advanced capitalist economy. In advanced capitalist economy. Why advanced capitalist economy? If there is an advanced capitalist economy, in that case only the level of exploitation will be extreme and it will surface clearly. Then the class in itself will develop into class for itself, and they will revolt against the capitalist class. But what did Lenin do? Lenin basically brought communist revolution in the feudal country, right? Feudal economy, right? So sir, one very basic question, sir. As we have learned in the stages of history that was propounded by Marx, even feudal country has a class, right? There is a class of feuds. There is a class of feuds and serfs, right? There is a struggle. And whenever there will be class, there will be struggle, there will be exploitation, right? And hence we need revolution. This is what Lenin also understood, but he have misunderstood, because the situation in feudal economy is very different from the situation in capitalist economy, friends. You have to take this into very serious consideration. Why? Because in the feudal economy, the serfs, the workers, the peasants are dependent on the feuds, Why? Because feudal lords, they used to take care of the sustenance of the serfs, right? Feudal economy में क्या होता है friends? अगर let's say एक कोई particular family है, राइट? एंड मैं उन पर्टिकुलर फैमिली के यहाँ पे उनके प्रॉपर्टी में, उनके लैंड में जाके खेती करता हूँ, राइट? तो माई एंटायर लीनेज, माई चिल्ड्रन एंड एक्सेट्रा, दे विल बी ऑब्लाइज्ड टू डू दैट पर्टिकुलर फ्यूड टू दैट पर्टिकुलर लॉर्ड, राइट? उससे मुझे बदले में पैसा नहीं मिलेगा. ही यूज्ड टू शेयर, वी यूज्ड टू शेयर आवर प्रोड्यूस, राइट? प्रोपोर्शनली. अगर मैं 100% उगाता हूँ, उसमें से अगर मुझे लेट्स से 60% या लेट्स से 40% अपने फ्यूड लॉट को देना है, तो आई विल बी हैविंग 60%, राइट? हियर आई हैव अ मोटिवेशन टू वर्क मोर. बट कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी में क्या होता है? कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी में क्या आ जाता है? दो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर आ जाते हैं, दैट इज ऑफ एलियनेशन एंड what contradiction that is immanent in capitalism itself. हम देखेंगे, just have the basic idea. Just in the next slide we are going to see each of the 3 points, right? The second one was the role of communist party. Marx never propounded the idea of any communist party, but Lenin in his revolution has introduced the notion of communist party, right, in order to ignite the sense of revolution in the peasant class. And the third was the role of peasantry. Marx never said peasants of the world unite. He said workers of the world unite, because you have nothing to lose than your chains, right? And there is a huge difference between peasants and workers according to Marx that we are going to see, right? So the first point is communist revolution in feudal country. According to Karl Marx, communism will come where capitalism in its advanced stage, as I have already told you. Why? When capitalism will reach to its advanced stage, all of its contradictions, all of its issues, all of its exploitative nature will come to the surface. What did Lenin do? Lenin thought we can cut short the history, right? We can cut short the history. He has chosen Russia where industrialization just started, right? Where industrialization just began. Workers, they started engaging in the process of production. They were not exploited as much as in the Western countries. Just to cut the history short, he just formed his communist party in order to make the workers realize their exploitative conditions, right? He is trying to influence the workers to revolt just by showing them that you could be exploited tomorrow if you don't hold up arms today, right? How will workers connect to that? Because workers will always be, this is very very basic human psychology, friends. Workers are only concerned about their today's survival. जो वर्कर्स लोग होते हैं वो अपने आज की दो दो वक्त की रोटी के लिए ज्यादा कंसर्न होते हैं रेदर देन द फ्यूचर, राइट? उन्हें आज शाम को भूखे पेट नहीं सोना है। बट वॉट लेनिन यूज टू डू, वॉट लेनिन डी, लेनिन ने क्या किया? लेनिन ने वर्कर्स को ये बोल के कन्विंस करने की कोशिश की कि ये कैपिटलिस्ट क्लास है, सोसाइटी है, जो कल अगर आपने आज अपने हाथ में आर्म्स नहीं उठाया तो कल ये आपको एक्सप्लॉइट करेंगे। Why will workers connect to that idea, right? Why will workers relate to that idea? And keep this thing in mind that were not the time of internet and etc, where the suffering in the Western countries could be surfaced in India or let's say any country, right? Where just by seeing how the employees are exploited in the production line and etc, right? People were just thinking it as out of context. This is what was the Lenin problem, and this is where Lenin doomed. Lenin thought that we can cut short the history. He has chosen Russia where industrialization has just started. The second one is role of Communist Party. Marx was against the idea of Communist Party, or to be specific, Marx never supported the idea of any party, right? Why? Because Marx wanted spontaneous revolution by workers, right? When the exploitation will reach to its most extreme threshold, the class in itself will become class for itself. And when this class for itself will become, the class will realize their own material condition, right? The exploitative nature of capitalist class, and the inner drive for revolution will come within the workers themselves. That is why the Marx never propounded the idea of any party so as to make workers realize their problem, right? So Marx wanted the workers should be fully conscious of their exploitation. It will automatically result into emergence of revolution, right? He wanted that we should wait till class in itself changes into class for itself, right? Because the class, when the class in itself will become class for itself, the inner drive to revolt, the inner drive to bring the changes in the basic structure will come within themselves, right? Why? Only when workers are fully conscious, no one will be able to exploit them, right? So if we bring party, there will be hierarchy. Again, he is giving that caveat as well. He is giving that cautionary notion as well, that if we bring party into consideration, again there will be hierarchy, domination in equality will remain elusive, right? Hierarchy means there will be what? Class, basic idea, right? There will be high people on higher hierarchy, there will be people on lower hierarchy. What this looks like? Again, two classes, higher hierarchy, lower hierarchy. Again, the basic idea of Marxist communism failed, where he do not wanted to see any sort of class. He completely wanted to eliminate the class, right, and ultimately class struggle. But when the notion of party comes, there will be hierarchy, right? The people who will be holding the power and the people who will be the general public, right? Again, the class comes. That is why he was strongly against the Communist Party. Lenin felt that workers will not be able to develop consciousness on their own, right? We have seen the Marx idea that he was completely against the Communist Party. But what did Lenin feel? Lenin felt that workers will not be able to develop consciousness on their own, right? Again, the idea of what? Cutting short the history comes in. The idea of cutting short the history comes in. What does this show? This basically shows impatience nature of Lenin, right? Lenin just wanted to jump the history. He did not wanted to wait until the class in itself develops into class for itself. He just wanted to bring, right? He just wanted to bring a idea of Communist Party. He just wanted to develop a Communist Party, so which will lead by the middle class intellectual, right? Communist Party which will basically led by the middle class intellectual to inject the idea of consciousness in the peasants, in the workers, right? So Lenin himself was from the middle class, and according to Lenin, Communist Party will be act as a vanguard of revolution. What is vanguard of revolution? Vanguard basically means friend, philosopher and guide in Russian, right? So he said that Communist Party will be vanguard of revolution for the people of Russia. On the contrary, Marx never gave any role to the intellectuals. Marx used to consider intellectuals as exploiters, right? If you remember, Marx himself, he considered the idea as an exploitative, and hence he considered the intellectuals as an exploitators themselves, right? He considered intellect as a false consciousness, and he held intellectuals as a responsible for spreading false consciousness among the workers. That is why he was completely against the party, or so as to say Communist Party. But here what did Lenin do? Basically he wanted to jump the history, he wanted to cut short the history. That is why he had the notion that there will be a Communist Party which will influence the workers, which will make them realize their exploitation, and will influence them to revolt against the capitalist class, and hence develop a communist society. This is where लेनिन अगेन डूम्ड द सेकेंड टाइम. लेनिन की नैया वहीं डूबी जहां पानी सबसे कम था, अगर मैं आपको सरल भाषा में बताऊं, राइट? लेनिन की नैया वहीं डूबी जहां पानी सबसे कम था. एंड थर्ड वन इज द रोल ऑफ peasantry. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains, right? The workers have nothing to lose but their chains. Workers of the world unite, not the peasantry of the world unite. Why? Because according to Marx, communist revolution will come only through proletarians. Who are the proletarians? Basically the property-less class. But in Russia, in Western countries, workers during his time were proletarians, right? And according to him, property class can never be revolutionary, right? So the idea was that workers will be revolutionary because they are also the most exploited class. Marx never considered peasants revolutionary. Why? Because the peasants, right? The basic idea here is that even peasants, they had some amount of land and low level of consciousness, right? Why? Because peasants, they used to engage themselves in the production, in the cultivation, right? And just being associated with the capitalist class, they developed some sort of consciousness, right? How capitalist works like. And in the development of consciousness, they also had some sort of property so as to have a option B, plan B, right? That is why Marx always propounded the idea of proletariats. Who were the proletariats? They were the people who were completely property-less. They were directly engaged in process of production in the capitalist industries, right? They did not hold any property per se. But the peasant class in Russia, they did have certain sort of or certain amount of some amount of property, right? What did Lenin do? Lenin, in Russia the number of workers were very very small, right? Why? Because again, connect the dots, industrialization was just started, right? Industrialization was just started. It was in very very infant, very very small stage, right? That is why the amount of workers were very very small. It was primarily a agrarian society, a society driven by peasants, right? Hence he incorporated peasantry within the revolutionary class, right? Now try understand the concept here, people. वाई पिजेंट्री? सर हम पिजेंट हमें तो ये पता है कि पिजेंट्री भी गरीब लोग होते हैं, वो भी सबसे ज्यादा एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव होते हैं. हमारे इंडिया की ही हम बात करें तो हमारे इंडियन हिस्ट्री इज फुल ऑफ पिजेंट रिवोल्ट एंड एक्सेट्रा. देन व्हाई द इंक्लूजन ऑफ पिजेंट्री इज सो प्रॉब्लमैटिक इन रशिया, राइट? तो आप यहाँ पे कॉन्सेप्ट समझे दोस्तों. कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है? यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट है इवन द पीजेंट्री इन रशिया, इवन इन द पीजेंट्री क्लास इन रशिया, दे होल्ड some amount of land. एंड जहां भी नोशन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी आएगा, जहां भी नोशन ऑफ वेल्थ आएगा, दैट पर्टिकुलर क्लास विल ऑलवेज बी स्टेटस कोइस्ट. दे विल बी स्टेटस कोविस्ट. वो कभी भी रिवॉल्यूशन नहीं चाहेंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर रिवॉल्यूशन होगा तो उनका भी जमीन, उनका भी जायदाद जाएगा. इनिशियली वो जोश में आके रिवॉल्यूशन टेंडेंसी, रिवॉल्यूशन ज्वाइन तो कर लेंगे, बट वो बाद में क्या करेंगे? दगा कर देंगे. दैट इज वाई मार्क्स इज सेइंग दैट वर्कर्स, प्रोलिटेरियट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड यूनाइट. यू हैव नथिंग टू लूज, you have nothing to lose, right? You have nothing to lose than your chains, right? But here the peasantry class of Russia, they had something to lose, that was the property. And according to Machiavelli, remember, one can forget the demise, the death of his father, but one will never forget the lose or the loss of his patrimony, right? That is why peasantry will never accept the loss of the patrimony or the accumulated wealth or land after revolution. That is why here Lenin doomed, Lenin failed. Why? Because he incorporated peasants, right? These were the three changes that Lenin made. So sir, what happened ultimately? अरे यार, कहना क्या चाहते हो? What happened ultimately? The cumulative effect of Lenin's innovations ultimately resulted into a situation where the dictatorship of Communist Party got established. This is the first idea, right? So ultimate consequences was what? He could bring the revolution, but there the dictatorship of Communist Party got established, which is against Marxism, which is against Marxist theory, which is against Marxist vision, right, of revolution. Lenin was still progressive, right? Till the time it was Lenin, he understood the vision of Marx. Till the time he was there in power, it was progressive. But when Stalin took over the power, the USSR became totalitarian state, and ultimately we know what happened. There was collapse of USSR, right? And this is what ultimately what happened. So again, if we compare this Russian Revolution of 1917 to Marxism, it is completely different. That is why we cannot say Russian Revolution as a communist revolution. The motivation was same, but the operation was completely different. That is why we can say it as a Leninism rather than Marxism, right? So this was all about the lecture, people. I'm hoping that you guys are understanding the concept, and मैंने justice किया है concept को समझाने में. If you guys are liking the lecture, please feel free, please express your love by liking the video as well. आप जितनी लाइक करेंगे उतनी ये वीडियो लोगों तक पहुंच पाएगी, जिनका हेल्प करना मेरा मेन एजेंडा है, राइट? भारत में बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो आज बहुत ज़्यादा महंगे कोचिंग्स अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते. दैट इज वाई आई एम इन्वेस्टिंग माई टाइम टू हेल्प द पीपल who are in need। एंड आप जितने ज़्यादा इस वीडियो को प्यार देंगे, लाइक करके, सब्सक्राइब करके, उतना ये लेक्चर्स उन ज़रूरतमंद बच्चों तक पहुंच पाएगी दोस्तों। तो चलिए, जो आज लास्ट में आप सबके लिए डिजर्ट है वो बेसिकली ये क्वेश्चन था। एंड दोस्तों, PSIR एक ऐसा ऑप्शनल है जिसमें रिपीटेटिव टेंडेंसीज बहुत ऑफ्टन है, इसीलिए आपको यू हैव टू बी अवेयर विथ ईच एंड एवरी PYQ दैट हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम, राइट। तो चलिए हम ये क्वेश्चन को डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन फ्रीडम एंड लिबर्टी क्वेश्चन को डिस्कस करते हैं। बेसिकली क्वेश्चन का फॉर्मेट क्या होगा, इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी एंड कंक्लूजन। दोस्तों, अगर आप कोई भी क्वेश्चन को इस फॉर्मेट में रेडी रखते हैं तो आई कैन एश्योर यू दैट यू कैन सेव 30 to 40% of your time in your exam. You can allocate the same saved amount of time to the question in the quality enhancement. आप ज़्यादा relevant examples quote कर सकते हैं, इसीलिए it is very very imperative to keep our answer ready in introduction, body and conclusion format so as to make ourselves very very okay, very very nicer, very very effective when it comes to qualitative questions or the question which are asked related to current affairs, right? So how will we start the introduction of this particular question, that is differentiate between freedom and liberty and discuss Marx's notion of freedom, right? So in political theory, the word liberty and freedom has been used interchangeably by scholars, right? So first thing, people, sometime the paper setter, they can ask you certain questions which are irrelevant, right? They just want to check your conceptual clarity। इसीलिए मैं conceptual clarity में बहुत ज्यादा emphasis करता हूं। क्यों? क्योंकि आपको मिसलीड भी किया जा सकता है अगर आपकी कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग अच्छी नहीं है तो, राइट। अगर हम ओरिजिनली देखें तो देयर इज नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन फ्रीडम एंड लिबर्टी, राइट। मगर अगर कोई ऐसा बच्चा होगा जिसकी कॉन्सेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग अच्छी नहीं है, दे विल थिंक जरूर कोई डिफरेंट होगा, तभी यूपीएससी ने पूछा है, एंड दे विल स्टार्ट पॉइंटिंग आउट द डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन फ्रीडम एंड लिबर्टी। बट हियर इट इज अ बिग बट। It is said that it is taken into consideration that there is no difference, not at all, between freedom and liberty, right? They, like, often it has been used interchangeably by the scholars, and it was Marx who had differentiated between the two. Marx was the first person who differentiated between the two terms, that is freedom and liberty. Why? There is a reason behind it as well. There is a reason behind it why Marx differentiated, and the reason is that liberty is sometimes regarded as the distinctive principle of liberalism, right? Liberalism, again, the Western culture, right? The capitalism, right, which was the completely against idea of Marx, right? That is why he has propounded the idea of freedom, which is the against the notion of liberalism or liberty, right, which is a distinctive principle of liberalism. But freedom is acclaimed as a universal principle, right? So here one differentiate that we can make, that the freedom is more universal, but liberty have very very limited notion that is mainly attached to liberalism. Thus Marx avoided liberty, instead preferred the word freedom, right? इसलिए मार्क्स ने लिबर्टी ना यूज करके फ्रीडम का यूज किया, which is more universal, which is more inclusive in nature. Marx's concept of freedom is different from the liberal individualist principle. He talks about real freedom, right? The real freedom which an individual can attain, right, in a society that has a rational system of production, right? So according to him, whatever freedom we have already learned in the previous lectures, whatever freedom that we tend to conceive in capitalist society is nothing but our false consciousness. He tried to give more universal definition of the term freedom, right? This is where he makes the term differentiate from the liberty or the liberal notion of freedom. He dismisses liberals' conception of a man as an atomistic individual, right? He iterates that natural needs of man bring him into natural relationship with other individuals. The basic idea again that human beings are social animals. Thus, real freedom can come only when socio-economic conditions are made conducive to it, right? Remember what did Marx says, in capitalist society why do we work? हम हमेशा अपनी जरूरतें, हमें हमेशा अपनी नेसेसिटी को पूरी करने के लिए काम करते हैं। हमें कोर्स किया जाता है टू फुलफिल आवर नेसेसिटीज टू वर्क। हमारी दिली तमन्ना, हमारी इच्छा नहीं होती है, बट फिर भी हमें अपनी जरूरतों को पूरा करने के लिए, हमें अपनी फैमिली की टेक केयर करने के लिए काम करना पड़ता है। दैट इज नॉट द रियल फ्रीडम अकॉर्डिंग टू मार्क्स, राइट। रियल फ्रीडम कब होगा? रियल फ्रीडम तब होगा अकॉर्डिंग टू मार्क्स जब सोशियो इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन किसी इंसान की बहुत कंड्यूसिव कर दी जाएगी। मैन विल वर्क फॉर हिमसेल्फ रेदर देन फॉर अदर्स, राइट। तब वो रियल फ्रीडम को अटेन कर पाएगा। दिस इज वाई हाउ मार्क्स इज डिफरेंशिएटिंग बिटवीन लिबर्टी एंड नोशन। कंटिन्यू करेंगे। According to Marx, capitalism is characterized by constraint of necessity. Constraint of necessity, right? Capitalism जैसे मैंने अभी बताया, कैपिटलिस्ट सोसाइटी में क्यों काम करते हैं? पैसे के लिए काम करते हैं। ना बाप बड़ा ना भैया, सबसे बड़ा रुपया, राइट। अगर हम डिफरेंट प्रोफेशन की भी बात करें, लेट्स से डॉक्टर, लेट्स से इंजीनियर्स, लेट्स से टीचर्स एंड एक्सेट्रा, राइट। सो डॉक्टर एंड पेशेंट का रिलेशनशिप कैसे होगा एक कैपिटलिस्ट सोसाइटी में, राइट। पेशेंट को हमेशा ऐसा लगेगा कि मैंने डॉक्टर को पैसा दिया है, इसीलिए मैं उसका दिमाग बहुत खाऊंगा, मैं 10 मिनट एक्स्ट्रा अपनी बकवास की प्रॉब्लम्स को बताऊंगा ताकि मेरे पैसे का एक एक रुपए का वैल्यू मुझे मिले। वहीं डॉक्टर को यह लगेगा, यार मैं कैसे इस पेशेंट को जल्दी से जल्दी निकालूं सो दैट आई कैन अटेंड टू नेक्स्ट पेशेंट एंड उससे मैं पैसा ले सकूं, राइट। तो ये कैपिटलिस्ट सोसाइटी में, अब लेट से यही सोशलिज्म सोसाइटी होता दोस्तों, जहां पे डॉक्टर्स को पैसे वैसे से किसी से मतलब नहीं होता, तो वो एक पेशेंट को बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से अटेंड कर सकता था, right? Keeping aside the advantages and disadvantages of the situation that I'm talking about, this is the real situation, right? In capitalism is basically characterized by the constraint of necessity. It creates a condition of material impoverishment for the workers who are unable to consume their own products, right? Material impoverishment, क्यों? क्योंकि वो काम कर रहे हैं, वो एक प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं, बट उनकी वेजेस इतनी कम है, उनकी सैलरीज इतनी कम है कि वो खुद के प्रोडक्ट को कंज्यूम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। एग्जाम्पल विल बी, लेट्स से एक वर्कर्स है जो कि रोल्स रॉयस कार बना रहे हैं, जो कि रेमंड की सूट बना रहे हैं, बट उसके पास उतना पैसा ही नहीं है कि वो एक रोल्स रॉयस कार को एंजॉय कर सके, एक रेमंड के सूट को पहन सके। क्यों? क्योंकि असली हक तो उस लेबर का है ना दोस्तों, क्योंकि वो कार को उसने ही बनाए हैं अपने हाथों से। बट कैपिटलिज्म की ये दुविधा है कि जो इंसान जो चीज को, प्रोडक्ट को बना रहा है, वो खुद उस चीज को कंज्यूम नहीं कर पा रहा है, वो चीज को एंजॉय नहीं कर पा रहा है। एंड दिस इज वेयर इट इज नॉट अ रियल फ्रीडम, राइट। इट इज नॉट अ यूनिवर्सल फ्रीडम। मार्क्स ऐसा बताना चाह रहे हैं। He also highlights the dehumanizing effect of capitalism and how it leads to the alienation of people, right? So keep this term, important terminologies like dehumanization, alienation, very very important terms. ये आपकी आंसर्स क्वालिटी को बहुत ज्यादा इनहेंस करता है, right? Thus to take a leap from necessity to freedom, the whole system has to be thrown away, right? So just for the sake of ट्रांसफरिंग द नॉमिनल, राइट, रियल, अगर आज के टर्म में बात करूं, रियल फ्रीडम टू रियल फ्रीडम, मार्क्स इज बेसिकली प्रोपाउंडिंग हिज यूनिवर्सल आइडिया ऑफ कम्युनिस्ट रिवॉल्यूशन, राइट। जो आज की फ्रीडम, जो कैपिटलिस्ट सोसाइटी में फ्रीडम की हम बात कर रहे हैं, वो सिर्फ एक फॉल्स कॉन्शियसनेस है, राइट। वो कोई भी फ्रीडम नहीं है, क्योंकि वी आर बेसिकली कंस्ट्रेन्ड बाय द नेसेसिटीज। इसीलिए हमें एक रियल फ्रीडम तक पहुंचना है, राइट, एक रिवॉल्यूशन करके। तो व्हाट इज द रियल फ्रीडम? इट इज बेसिकली लिबर्टी, right, the notion of liberalism. And what is real freedom? It is basically the freedom that Marx is talking about. How can we conclude this particular answer? Although Marxism was not so successful that we have just seen in establishing its hegemony, the Marxist idea of freedom remains relevant even today, right? Marx freedom completes what libertarian liberty lacks and tries to make it more comprehensive, right? That is why we said the Marxism was understood well by its opponents, right? Well by its opponents, then its supporters, right? Then its supporters themselves, right? And what changes they made? They basically made this very very elementary changes by making basic, or by bringing the idea or notion of welfareism in the capitalist, in the libertarian society. So this was all about today's people. If you liked this video, please ensure to show your love by subscribing to the channel, that is UPSC by Naman Raj Gupta. And also, if you have any query, any question, any feedback, any doubt, any thought, please feel free to leave that in the comment section. मैं पढ़ूंगा and I will also come back with a valuable feedback. With this, keep watching, keep striving. Until next time, this is your host, this is your friend, this is your guide signing off.